The Independent Weekly versus Lafayette City Marshal Brian Pope has become the seminal enforcement case for Louisiana public records. It began with Marshal Pope abusing his public office for an improper political purpose. It continued when he received a public records request and denied the records existed under oath in court, was given an opportunity for redemption, came back, was actually able to produce 588 pages in time for the next hearing, but could not explain why they had not been produced the first time. Over the course of this trial and the related proceedings, we've been able to establish literally a record for enforcement action against a public official for violating his duties as a custodian. Marshal Pope's incurred attorney's fees and costs in excess of $200,000, daily penalties totaling over $25,000, and he's been held in contempt of court and sentenced to 30 days imprisonment. That's on probation right now, and all but 7 days were suspended. People ask what's going on now with the case. Well, first of all, the original case has generated 7 felony indictments against Marshal Pope, which he'll stand trial for in the near future. The second thing has to do with the probation and his continued deeds during the term of his probation and whether he should remain on probation. At our last hearing, Judge Edwards announced his philosophy of restorative justice. And by that he means a person who's been convicted of a crime, which Marshal Pope has. The appellate courts have confirmed that conviction for contempt. Judge Edwards wants to see that person admit that they've done wrong, if they can come to that, and if they can't, well then he says the punishment must be heavier. Not only do you have to admit the wrong that you've done, you have to admit who you have harmed and what that harm is, and then explain to the court what steps you've taken to correct that harm. That's the hearing that we have coming up on February 28th. And Marshal Pope will have the opportunity to tell the court whether he's come to peace with that himself and understands what he has done is wrong and the damage that it has caused. Unfortunately, we continue to uncover additional misdeeds for Marshal Pope, and again, it's a product of the public records litigation that we've been involved in. We've learned that he has basically taken $184,000 of Marshal's money to pay the civil judgment for which he was wrong. He's been paying himself an additional $10,000 per month on fees and costs that he's not entitled to by state law. He was criticized by the legislative auditor for doing so in 2015 and 16, was supposed to obtain an attorney general's opinion saying it was okay, and last year in 2017 when he did, he got the results and decided to pocket veto it and did not request the opinion and sat on it. Fortunately, our district attorney has now requested that opinion, and it confirms what we knew, which was that Marshal Pope's not supposed to receive those funds. So not only is that an additional violation, but effectively destroying a public record by not obtaining it from the Attorney General when he was required to do so is another offense. So this goes on and on. When you look at that and the lawsuit in federal court in which he's blamed Lafayette Consolidated Government and 2 of its officials for being responsible for producing the public records that he intentionally attempted to destroy, I think we can see so far that maybe restorative justice hasn't made its way into his heart yet, and he's not quite there. We look forward to him having that opportunity, and as Judge Edwards said at the last hearing, we hope for his success. It'll be better for him and it'll be better for our community.